This is the In-Flight News, presented for Qantas by the 9 Television Network of Australia.
Hello and welcome to the Morning News. I'm Samantha Heathwood. Ahead in this bulletin, former News of the World editor Rebecca Brooks charged over the phone hacking scandal. New French President Francois Hollande flies into a storm of economic turmoil, and Barack Obama on the couch with the girls from The View. First this morning, former News International Chief Executive Rebecca Brooks has been charged with perverting the course of justice, making her one of the first to be charged over the phone hacking scandal. A man is in a serious condition in hospital after setting himself on fire outside the trial of Norwegian killer Anders Breivik. Inside the Oslo courtroom, one survivor of the massacre on Utøya Island described how she thought she was going to die during his horrific shooting spree. A new political era has begun in France with the inauguration of Socialist President Francois Hollande. The economic crisis crippling the Eurozone has forced him to get to work right away, holding talks with the German Chancellor Angela Merkel after news that Greece has been unable to form a government. The mother of 4 girls who have fled with their great-grandmother to avoid deportation to Italy will take her fight to the family court in Queensland this morning. The 4 girls, aged 9 to 14, were due to fly to Italy last night. However, they've gone into hiding, saying they don't want to return to live with their father, who they describe as abusive. They're at the centre of a bitter custody dispute involving their parents, with Italian authorities demanding they be returned. Overnight, the girls' mother went to Brisbane Airport and said she didn't know where her daughters were.
The orders were very vague. They simply said I needed to present the children within 12:01 a.m. I am within the deadline, and unfortunately I'm unable to hand over the children. I don't know about their whereabouts.
Both the federal and Queensland state governments are refusing to intervene. The former staffer taking legal action against Parliament Speaker has dropped accusations he misused cab charge vouchers. James Ashby is suing both Peter Slipper and the government over allegations of sexual harassment. But he's not using the civil lawsuit to pursue claims that Mr Slipper misused cab charge documents, claims which have seen the Speaker stood down while investigations continue. Australian Federal Police are still looking into the matter. The first round of carbon tax compensation for low-middle income families begins from today. The federal government estimates 1.6 million households will benefit, receiving up to $110 for each child. The money should be available within the next fortnight, and Families Minister Jenny Macklin says it will help families make ends meet. The carbon tax is set to be implemented from July 1st. The Prime Minister has hit out at corruption within the union movement as residents in Craig Thomson's electorate try to force him out of Parliament. It comes as the opposition leader, Tony Abbott, faces a court battle for defamation. Police in Victoria have admitted using drivers as human shields to stop a speeding motorist. A young father says he and his family feared the worst after being forced to take part in a roadblock. Police and Aboriginal activists in Brisbane are on a collision course over a tent city erected in a public park in South Brisbane. A confrontation is looming as the residents continue to ignore a government order to pack up and get out by today. An Australian athlete has been banned from the Olympic Games after testing positive to illegal substances. It comes just hours before she was due to fly to China to qualify. Parking in the US city of Santa Monica in California is going high-tech. With parking spaces at a premium, state-of-the-art sensors are being installed to track just how long vehicles are staying, and they're expected to bring in big bucks. Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney has received some welcome news in his bid for the White House, with new polls showing he's pulled slightly ahead of Barack Obama. It comes as the president tries to shore up his support with women by appearing on The View to talk about everything from same-sex marriage to his 50th birthday. Sport now, and State of Origin is only 1 week away, but banished Panthers centre Michael Jennings is no certainty of returning to Penrith's first grade side following Game 1. Jennings trained with the Blues yesterday, just days after being dropped to the New South Wales Cup. He's slammed claims of an attitude problem, saying he'll chat with Panthers coach Ivan Cleary when he returns from Origin duties in Melbourne.
Mentally, I know that I'm prepared. It has been a tough ride for me, but mentally and physically, I'm ready.
While the Blues leave for Melbourne today, the Maroons have already arrived and are treating Game 1 as a makeshift home match.
I think Victorians probably hate New South Wales as much as Queenslanders do.
AFL and the Magpies say they'll be out for revenge in Friday's grand final rematch against Geelong at the MCG. The Cats defeated Collingwood by 38 points to claim their third flag last year. The Pies' chances of retribution boosted with the possible return of Darren Jolly and Dale Thomas.
All the boys that played in last year's loss will certainly have a bit more emotion towards the game.
Meanwhile, close to 90,000 fans are expected to pack the MCG the following night between Richmond and Essendon, the now traditional Dreamtime clash headlining this week's Indigenous round. To soccer, and Central Coast Mariners have been eliminated from the Asian Champions League. The visitors needed a win to advance to the knockout stages but couldn't find the back of the net, going down 3-0 to Nagoya Grampus in Japan last night. The home side opened up a 2-goal advantage heading into half-time before a header in the dying minutes sealed the Mariners' fate. Coming up after the break, all the finance and weather details in Australia and around the world.
Nick Darcy, forever the villain of Australian swimming.
If you're going to keep pushing on that, I'm probably going to have to take a walk.
In a 9 News exclusive, his fight for Olympic glory.
At the moment I've got my head down and I'm thinking about gold.
But can Australia forgive him? See it first on 9 News, tonight at 6.
Taking a look at the international market numbers. In Australia, the All Ords will start the trading day weaker. Japan's Nikkei is weaker, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng has finished stronger, and Britain's FTSE 100 is weaker. To the US, the Dow Jones is stronger, up by 5 points. Gold is weaker, while oil is trading at $93 a barrel. To currency markets, and the US dollar is buying 62 British pence. And looking at the euro, it's mainly weaker against the currencies, while the Aussie dollar is buying 99 US cents. Just recapping our main stories, former News International Chief Executive Rebecca Brooks has been charged with perverting the course of justice over the phone hacking scandal. The 43-year-old was charged with concealing material from detectives, conspiring to remove archive records and hiding documents and computers. And a man is in a serious condition in hospital after setting himself on fire outside the trial of Norwegian killer Anders Breivik. Turning now to the weather forecast around the world, and starting with Australia, Brisbane can expect showers and a top of 32, fine and 20 degrees in Sydney, overcast in Melbourne 18, showers in Perth, while Darwin will be fine and a warm 32 degrees. Alice Springs heading for a sunny top of 20. Across the Tasman to New Zealand, Auckland can expect a few scattered clouds and a top of 16 degrees. In North America, Los Angeles, a sunny top of 21, rain in New York, 23. To South America, fine in Santiago, 18 degrees. And across to Europe, London, a few clouds, it will reach 12 degrees, while in Paris, it's expected to be fine and 15. To South Africa, Johannesburg, a sunny top of 19. Then over to India and Southeast Asia, there's set to be plenty of heavy rain in both Singapore and Jakarta, both 32 degrees. Finally, China and Japan, a few clouds in Tokyo, while storms in Hong Kong. And that's the morning news, finance and sport. I'm Samantha Heathwood. Have a great day.
This has been 9 News, brought to you by Qantas.